gonna talk about an old 360 here. Alright. Now if you look right here on the side, this is driver's side of the block on these Dodge motors. Right here, 360. That'd be the size. A lot of people look over, oh, how can you tell if it's 360, 318? Driver's side of the block, right there, 360. It'll have a long number, then dash, or say 360, 318, 340, whatever the size is. Some of them have dash, another number. This has dash with a number. I imagine they all would have this last part, not sure. Now, something else. Let me lower this down a little more. Now, on the deck's right here. If you look carefully, it'll be right here, 360. That's 360. That's another spot. There's your two spots. This one, 9 times out of 10, you got to do some cleaning to find. Now let me rotate this motor. Alright. Now here, 3rd month. Can't tell that's 13th or 18th day. The day is in the teens. 86. So that tells me this is an 86 block early year. 3 freeze plugs. Now here's one thing I don't care too much for. This is your oil filter. Oil filter adapter would be here. This allows your oil filter to screw on. This plate's removable. Take this nut off. This plate comes off. Just stick something right here and it pops right out. Sometimes you get lucky and they come out no problem. 360 has 4 holes, as you can see. 318 has 4 holes. Now, the 340 had 6 holes. Which, 6 holes will allow more oil back to your main bearings. Your main bearings will love you for that. Now, I just recently pulled a 318 1990 Dodge 318 Magnum throttle body motor out of a truck. Undid this nut, got looking. Well, took the oil filter off, took this off to get to this plate. Well, I had to take the oil filter off to get to the bolt there. But I took a look at that plate. Let me walk over here. And I'm going to retrieve this piece for the oil filter. Now, if you remember, I previously said just a few minutes ago that the 340 had 6 holes. 318 and the 360 had 4. Alright. Now this right here, that's in my hand, this would be this piece. Once this is removed, which I ain't going to bother taking this one out. When I take this one off, it's having a new gasket put on. Then you can take this plate off. This is what I was talking about with the 340 having 6 holes. Which, as you can see, I said right there, plain as day. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can locate one of these, pick it up. Some say they're kind of hard to get a hold of, some say they're easy. Just depending on what part of the country you're in, who you know, and what place you know to look. I got lucky, I scored this one on a 318. That's a Dodge Magnum, which was out of the 90 Club Cab. So, if you can score one of these, put it on your 318, your 340, your 360. Now, this here is a 360 block. Neat thing about this, 340 and 360 did this, and I'll show you. On the driver's side, this piece of the casting is actually a little bit thicker than it is on the 318. Because when you give it gas, your motor goes from sitting flat and raises like that, drops back down. Raises up, takes off, or however, forward or backwards. When you let off, it goes back flat. It's more or less a torque thing. Your motor spins clockwise, so it's going to raise up. That's why they made this a little bit thicker on the 340 and 360. Now, your main cap here on the 340 is a little bit shorter in height than the 318, but it's more or less the same. When I pull that 318 apart with scrap, I'll get into better detail. There's your little knowledge on the LA 360.